Smooth right there. Yeah. That shit funny as fuck. So Native American cuisine would be things like tortillas and stuff like from South America and the Mexico area that is popular now. Those would be the type of dishes they would be making because they was big on corn. Maize was their biggest crop that they like made sacred basically. So they had some dishes and tradition that we were taught in school says that they gave exchange dishes with the pilgrims and shit, but we know that's not really what happened. I mean, they might have, but they got backdoored. That's for sure. They and the term, yeah, and that's it, you kind of in the right direction, Terry Harris, but it'll be autochthonous Americans. That's what the original inhabitants of this area will be called, and then you got people who are indigenous. Yeah, my screen now. Hold on, let me see. Autochthonous. No, no, that's the original Americans. Mhm. Yeah. Autochthonous. and of inhabitants of a place indigenous rather than a descendant from migrants or colonists. So indigenous people would be like they say they came from Asia and they came across the strait with the North American border and came down through like Canada and shit, and then they filled up the North American territories, right? But that would be like they say about 10,000 years ago when they would be like Mongolian, like Asianoids. Know what I'm saying? They would, 'cause Mongolian is more Russian, European Asian. These were like straight up fucking Asians that like left early on and were my yeah, basically. Yep. Inuits. So this is so an autochthonous American would be somebody that developed their whole history on this continent, which would be way longer than like the 10,000 years ago or so they say the Asians migrated over, right? These some hood niggas for real right here. Wait, so that's the autochthonous. Let me go to my yeah, go run me up real quick. So got the I'll play the short one. So these like would be better these will be more black people because I got a whole series describing like the whole evolution of what we came with the term of like Native Americans and Indians and Negroes and all these different words we use to describe indigenous people and autochthonous people that were on this land before Europeans came. It had to be dark. At one point, there wasn't no other hue on this planet besides dark melanated skin because the humanoid couldn't thrive in cold conditions yet. It took mutations and shit to get to that point. So we were always in the warmer climates, and then as we started expanding and becoming nomads and traveling, that's when we lost our pigmentations. And there's other theories like to kind of say there were might have been experimentation done at some point or hybridization, whatever, to speed up the process. Um, and even with science, they talk about the like different humanoid species that mated, like the Cro-Magnums and Lucy's and shit like that. But these darker hued or melanated people had to be first in order for other humanoids to come into existence, and that's just how it is across the world. You could look at the Australian Aborigines, like people in the Fiji Islands, the Sentinel Islands. Like the oldest people in the world are dark on every continent. And it's not like a knock because in order for us to expand as humans, we did have to mutate and adjust our genes, if you will, to be able to adventure and travel and conquer these new lands. And um, we was only expanding our population, like so we couldn't all just stay in one place. We had to expand and evolve. And like the Aboriginals, I say, started mixing with the not the Aboriginal. Yeah, the Aboriginals started mixing with the Autochthonous, and then you had the Europeans that came over. And once they came over, the Aboriginals, the more Asian kind, started mixing with them. And then you get the Indians of like today. You had like the Indians and the Mississippians and stuff like that. So you could see we've always been here and had these features and been dark skinned. So I say we were here first, but that's just across the board, across the world in general. So, um, mm. I mean, at the end of the day, every feature is a black feature. So you could say he looked Asian, he looked Mongoloid. It don't matter. The oldest people in the world is the Khoisan people, besides the pygmies. And the Khoisan look like you could tell where the Asians come from is the Khoisan people. So yeah, the Khoisan is like kind of under the Ethiopian area, more towards Central Africa. Nigga look like me. He basically was speaking on the intermingling and the mixing of blood that occurred because at a certain point, the pilgrims and the colonists started having to pass these laws, and there were wars and battles and shit that made them have to amalgamate with the natives. They couldn't just wipe them out. So order to get like sovereignty over them, they would mate with them. But the people like the Seminole Indians, then you had like the Gullah Geechees and those type of Indians fought like they fought for a long ass time, damn near 200 years. So that's what he's more so speaking to is his ancestors actually fought. They wasn't on that just conforming shit, if you will. No, I do. That's what he talking specifically to them. That's what he talking. No, the Khoisan people. Those would be like the ones that like first went towards the Asian area, and you clearly see the Asian influence on their features and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he was saying they were mongoloid, and I was like with him, but every feature is a black feature for real at the end of the day. Even the small nose, like we got everything under the sun.